Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Cave Trolls Podcast, Episode 12. This will be our final audio-only podcast. We will be launching our YouTube channel with Episode 13, so look out for that. We are Cave Trolls on YouTube. This week, we get into our favorite presidents of the past and why Jar Jar Binks is awesome, or the best, or maybe just evil. We'll clarify in the podcast. Enjoy.
I didn't sleep.
I caught like an hour.
You haven't slept.
I haven't slept.
So now I do feel like I'm hungover.
Driving a whole team of horses. I don't feel too bad
because I didn't actually go down to take a nap. So
yeah.
It's my throat and my general awareness.
Oh shit!
I know why.
Your genitals. It's my throat and my whoa! It's like you know you're hungover when your genitals ache.
So
just ache.
Are my genitals on your mind or something? Like, what gave you the impression? I was just like, yeah, and my junk's fucked up. I don't know what's going on.
I never wanted to put it like my junk's fucked up. So you seem a little off today, Rich. Oh, my junk's kind of fucked up.
Mine is fine,
damn, dude.
I know I didn't say it explicitly, and I want to for the record. I'll find down there.
Jared, let's talk about your penis.
We can talk about my penis in great detail, but I want you to know it's in tip-top shape. Well,
this isn't even a video episode, ladies and gentlemen. God damn, you're missing out.
I mean, we're gonna launch video here in about a week, and I promise there will be no genitalia.
genitalia.
No, none.
No dong copters.
No dong copters. Well, at least not ours. I mean, like I could interspace like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, just one thing after another.
Nights or something. Yeah.
Like what is it? It's like there's a math to it when he does it.
Helicopter dick.
I think like every 30 minutes he puts in one of the frames of porn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we could do that. That could be a thing.
Dong copter pirate.
No, I think it should be like an intro, outro screen. Where the music's fading, and it's just like it's like because I was just.
And then 34 frames of Richard helicopter.
Just to the theme of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I like that. I wanted to do it to the music that we have now.
I mean,
it's like the 8-bit sound or whatever.
I'm not self-conscious about my size. It's done well for me over the years, but I can promise you that helicopter would be extremely boring if I did it. I don't know if it's just like the placement or if it's just cold where I am, or maybe I do have a small dick and I just never have thought about it that much. But
that would be the strategy. If you have a small dick, not to think about it for sure.
I mean, the only thing we've compared it to is a crayon so far.
Why are you comparing my dick to anything?
What? When did that happen?
Who's we?
I was not included. I don't know if you have any more
Terry.
friends.
Like when I'm not around, like is it like those sitcoms where like you guys are still talking about just my genitals?
Yeah,
like
it was on last week's podcast, but you weren't on that one.
It's like 75 to 80% Terry's dick. Most of it.
I'm partly flattered. Like, is that just my self-esteem showing? It's like, aw.
That's the best response ever. You guys are so sweet.
You really care about me.
You guys think about me like that.
I've totally gone into dad mode.
We miss you when you're not around.
Our roommate was going to leave this morning. Like she's like getting ready. I think she was going to work or something. But I was like needed to know when and where. And it wasn't like creepy. Like I need to know where you're going. Like. All right, honey, have a good day. When are you coming back? Who are you hanging out with today? And I was like, you're not my kid. Why did this just happen? I come back, and Jordan's like, what the fuck was that? Like,
no, my response was, we all think of you as dad, Terry.
That totally makes sense. It really does. That fits, absolutely.
Well, I mean, he's the only one in the house wearing a cardigan. So.
It makes sense if it wasn't over the T-shirt that I wore all of 7th grade, sports shorts that do not fit me, and my Homer Simpson pajamas are like in this room. Do I need to shave? I just shaved my beard.
You've got more than a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, probably. I have like the drunk samurai look from like video games.
Definitely do.
Like you can call me Mitsurugi.
Samurai.
I have more Eastern Asian alcohol on me than I care to admit in a gourd, like just hanging off my belt. I'm just wandering.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wandering the side of the road, waiting for my next adventure, like Usagi Yojimbo.
Did you guys ever watch Samurai Champloo?
Yes.
I never have, but I've been told I need to watch it.
It's fucking good, man. It's so interesting.
And I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking of the right one. That's the one where like they're hunting down the samurai who smells like
Sunflowers.
Yeah, that's
Yes, yes.
fucking just the premise alone. I'm like, you gotta see that, right? Like, you gotta
really
know what that's
cool.
about. It is
Yeah.
really cool.
It's. I mean, it's classic, and it's in its origin story where you kind of like it's the classic revenge thing where you have to, and it's weird because it's kind of like a motley cast, excuse me, where like she kind of brings these two excellent swordsmen together, and the wild man.
Yep.
Jin is the disciplined one.
Yeah,
I think.
it's basically Odd Couple with swords.
Kind of, yeah.
Like
I
when you
see
look
that.
back at like you have like he's like the laid back one. His face looks like mine. He's just like yeah, I don't.
It's got like a samurai afro thing going on.
Exactly. That's a show I do recommend to you guys. I mean, it's an anime. It's old, but it's made in a way where like you can't really tell. I mean, anime doesn't
beautiful.
mature that much. Like you watch an anime today, and it's like, okay, this could have been made in the '80s. It just isn't high definition.
But there's such a variety of quality when it comes to anime. I think
it's
I'm
hit or miss.
I'm
all
so
around.
discerning. I mean, like even the shit on Netflix that they've been like, this is it's like 4.5 stars, 5 stars. I just been like, this is trash.
Netflix actually just put, I can't remember the number. I'll have to look it up. It's actually, I'll put it in the footnotes. But they actually put a shit ton of money into original animes.
Really?
Yeah, they have two. One's Seven Deadly Sins.
The other is
What's the other one?
Knights of Sidonia.
Knights of Sidonia. I haven't seen either one of them yet, but they're rated pretty high on Netflix. They're their own proprietary thing.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, check those out. Netflix has solid programming. Not too much of it is a hit and miss. I just saw they put a new one with, I don't know if it's Alexander Skarsgård, the older one who was in the older one that was in Thor.
It's in Thor.
Yeah. The older Skarsgård.
Which role was he? I don't remember.
He's the doctor who's friends with Natalie Portman.
Oh, the one who was also in the Avengers?
Yes.
Okay. No, that guy's a Sarsgaard?
Dr. Selvig? Is that his
Yeah,
name?
Selvig.
is it?
That's it.
Yeah, it's called River.
I can't remember his name, but
Really?
is
Okay.
it Alexander?
I don't know if it's Alexander, but it's
Alexander
one.
is the younger guy who was in Kinsey, and he was in the.
There's Sarsgaards and there's Skarsgårds.
Oh my god.
They're all tall and Swedish.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So you get those names are all confused. People know who I'm talking about from Thor. Yeah, he's in a new one called River. I believe it's one of those cop dramas. It looks a lot like Broadchurch. Are you playing footsie with me?
Sorry, no.
I like your socks.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna call those out.
I specifically asked for like nice socks. Here's the thing, though. Look at this. They come all the way up.
They go
to
all
my
the
knee,
way
almost. And they go all the way up. So like they're really cool, and I like them, and I like fun socks. But
I like fun socks.
I specifically requested them, and my girlfriend bought them for me.
I'm gonna completely just tear apart this interview right now. And just reframe it so it's just like you talking about your socks for like 15 minutes. I really like fun socks.
We're gonna write a song about
Helicopter dick.
You're gonna cut this.
I specifically asked for socks, just so everyone. And then I'll interspace it with when we were talking about you being arrested in Mexico. Just who is Richard Langan? I really like socks.
Do you think that for our I like the cover that you guys have now. It's just you and Dave, right? Of the four for the podcast.
Yeah.
I was thinking it should be the four of us, but like in the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing, with our socks on our dick. We're naked with socks on our dick.
Well,
What do you think about
apparently
that?
I'll need a baby sock, according to you guys. So if we can work out some sort of illusion.
Do you have a pen cap? Do you have a pen cap?
We got one somewhere.
I'm the only one in this room with definitive proof that I've had sex before. So
Listen, I have a cell phone right here. I have advocates. I have No, I have proof.
I have reference.
I have video. I have video.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
There's a whole cornucopia.
But then
We're
again,
getting
if
there.
you're taking the video, I mean, unless you have like a very distinctive looking penis, where it's one of those things. Well, no.
I just imagine in all of your sex tapes, you're like the president's crew from Point Break. It's like you just like everyone has the different president masks on, and there's just Keanu Reeves going, "Who are you?"
in the Cave Trolls podcast sex tape that we're obviously going to be something, and we're all going to be wearing president masks.
Of
like
course.
you said. Who is which?
I'm Abraham Lincoln.
No. You got to do a bad president. Shut up. No, you can't be an American hero. It can't be George Washington.
Abraham Lincoln has done some shit. We just remember him for the good stuff. I'm not going to quote the vampire stuff, but
Those poor vampires.
he liked to party. And if okay, fine, then I'd be
I call
Teddy
him-
Roosevelt because he used to duel people.
I call Nixon.
Nixon. Good one.
I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook, and I swear.
God, I mean, that'll get you dick hard right there.
You strike me as an LBJ. Like you just record everything that you've ever talked about, and also that you would have had your best friend shot.
You know,
Not to support conspiracy theories, but the grassy knoll definitely had a shooter on it.
I would prefer George W.
Whoa, a little modern there.
Yeah,
we
man.
got W up in here.
I mean, just when it comes to like silly looking faces,
It-
that's mostly what I value.
We're gonna find her.
Exactly. Mission accomplished.
What the- you went a little what was his vice president's
Cheney?
name?
Cheney.
You went a little Cheney there. I channeled a penguin when I do him.
Everyone does.
Well, that's his face.
Yes.
He looks like the fucking penguin.
I call Jimmy Carter.
Oh my god.
That's the peanut one, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
god damn it.
We're talking about a silly looking human being. You're not wrong about that.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still farming.
And he's
peanuts.
sillier looking today than he was when he was president.
That's what old people. That's what happens.
That's what happens.
You become
They get
a
silly looking.
caricature of yourself. If we wait a few months, we can be Barack Obama.
That's true.
A few more months is my math.
No,
right
it's
now.
just-
I mean, Ronald Reagan's a good one. That's a good face to put on.
Oh, totally, absolutely. That's like you want to talk about goofy human being.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ronald Reagan. We could get you a monkey prop and just
Yeah.
hang it around your.
Exactly.
So I have,
That was an odd digression, wasn't it?
that's like one of those. So like you guys know, like I told you, like I mean, haven't had much sleep, but it was like one of those things where like I kind of come to like full clarity for a second, going, what the fuck is going on? How did I get here? It's like one of those things where like I was too tired to drive. Like you get home, you're like, how did I
What?
do this? Oh my
muscle
god, I
memory.
never
That's
drive like
dangerous
that.
as fuck.
Exactly.
It's muscle memory.
It's like I'm never gonna do that again. That's what just happened here on the podcast. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like looking around. I'm like, how did I get here? Why was I going to be Teddy Roosevelt?
Dude, no, that's scary, man. When you wake up and you're just kind of like, oh shit, or you've hit the noisemaker lines like 3 times in a row, and you're like, all right, it's time to go take a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull over here. No, sir. Nope, not looking for any sex. Just parking here today. That's a thing that happens, man.
Where you get propositioned when you're
I
trying to
get
nap.
propositioned all the time. Look at me.
No, it makes sense.
They're disappointed by my helicopter skills. But
Well, I mean, you still look like Justin Long, so that you got that going for you.
Justin Long with a pencil cap.
when I was in high school, I looked a lot more like Justin Long. Now I'm more like fat Justin Long, because like Justin Long's fat is not that fat, because like I'm not like super overweight, but like, obviously I've let myself go over the years. Like I mean, like at one point I did have abs, and now it's just a dream.
Well, I mean,
like I have,
you still have abdominal muscles. You're still anatomically human, but you know.
I would
They're
like
just
feel
hidden.
that
Yes.
They're hidden.
they're hitting. Oh yeah, the six pack is in the
You
cooler.
tucked them away.
I'm like Harrison Ford. Like I can remember having a life, but I might actually be a replicant. Like
I
I'm
think,
not.
I think of it as incognito Terry. You know, so you know.
I'm just blending in. This is all a game.
Terry's a synth now, though. He's
I've repeatedly told that to my wife. Like one day you're gonna wake up and like you're gonna find out my name's not actually Terry. It's like what's
You should tell her that. That'll make her feel really confident now that she's breeding with you.
I know what's my spawn.
Yeah, that's all I'll refer to you.
What's the name of that
You're a
Viggo
larva.
Mortensen movie where like secretly he had like the dangerous past
History of Violence.
History of Violence.
Yes.
I fucking love that movie. But like she's like
Viggo
she finds out something like that, you know.
More oral sex in that movie than I've ever seen anywhere.
They straight up
ever.
69 in like the first half an hour of that film.
I know, right?
This is an impressive.
She puts
thing.
on a little cheerlealer for him, and he's just like,
That's a
in
normal
there.
that's a
Jesus Christ.
pop up search in Daily Motion. People are like Viggo Mortensen 69.
hashtag Viggo Mortensen 69.
we
Oh
always talk
man.
Daily Motion, man.
if you are a male that's masturbated on the internet, you found Daily Motion.
No, it's true. You're
I
not
say
wrong.
male because if a female's masturbate on the internet, they probably have more refined taste.
I mean, depends on which female you're talking about.
They probably own that DVD. Like women are just more responsible. Like I feel like they pirate a lot less.
I feel like they actually pay for like subscriptions for things.
I had a
too.
subscription to Brazzers when I was in college because that was a thing I could do.
Naughty America for me.
Exactly. That's just not even. And like you could you had your own you could get a credit card at that point. I had a debit card, and I was like, this is.
It works.
Why did I ever have a porn subscription before? I was like, oh yeah, because I could just download porn. But it's just one of the things is like, Everybody in their life at one point has to pay for porn.
I mean, you're not. I mean, it doesn't seem like a reasonable thing considering I've never had. Even if I've had to look for a while, I've always been able to find the thing.
You can find whatever you're looking for, and I'm not going to get into specifics here because I feel like that's a podcast for another lifetime that none of us want to talk about.
Talking about untasted porn.
Mine, like that president's thing. I'm just saying was not made up.
No, that was scripted. Yeah,
if that wasn't a fetish before, I just created
that was
it.
off the cuff.
That's
for
the
sure.
thing now.
I mean, there's got to be some like guys in presidents masks running a train on somebody. It's just got to be a thing.
We could do that. We could fill.
It's like a conga line.
Jesus Christ, dude!
There's a niche that needs to be filled on the internet, and that's what it is. That could be our legacy.
I did say that we should sing the Star Spangled Banner, but maybe we should have the president of it. Dun 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 dun. While we're like. While it's happening, during the
while we're tenderizing meat.
Yeah.
Yes, while we're.
Is that what you sound like when you have sex?
No, it's a much longer. It's a much longer stroke.
You're slow jerking.
Much longer.
Slow jerking is it? You gotta get the slow jerk.
Rhythm is really important.
Yeah,
when it's that spaced out, it's really hard.
If we did the math on the strokes per minute.
4.
That's too many. That's not a slow jerk. That's moderate at best.
It's a mild jerk.
Wow. Holy.
We got a mild one.
To be completely dead fucking serious for 5 seconds, that is
the worst time to bring up dead serious after I talk about slow jerking.
No, we're talking about rhythm.
But seriously, guys, everybody needs to get tested. Get your pet spayed or neutered. The more you know.
Is your boyfriend spayed or neutered? No, but it's funny because I went back to.
Well, I have no idea where he's going with this.
This
I'm
is
excited.
like last podcast. We
just
didn't know where Terry was going.
That's exactly right. We're in the tall grass now, fellas. When I went back to Portland, Maine, where I lived for several years, and I saw some of my old friends and stuff, and they were all. It's funny because they've settled down, they've got long-term boyfriends and stuff, and they're like, rhythm. My boyfriend doesn't have rhythm, and I'm like, you mean like in the bedroom? He's like, yeah, and I'm like, look, buy that dude a metronome. I'm like, it's like.
This is your dead serious?
Absolutely. So this is the PSA.
Tell them to stop fucking white dudes. We have no rhythm.
As the culturally and racially diverse podcast that we have here.
Definitely, I'm not going to defend that. I know that's completely true. As soon as you said that, I was like, okay, now I know where he's going with this. Don't buy them a metronome. Buy them an R&B CD.
Buy them some R. Kelly or something.
Put on some R. Kelly in the background. The first album. Don't go to that second one. That's when the P started.
That's the P.
At least put some Barry White or something.
If you get to the remix edition, you should have came by now. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
No.
Early 2000s, this remix edition?
There's a remix edition?
Yes,
of that song.
I don't follow.
You don't follow R. Kelly? After
Neither
this,
do
I'll
I.
go into it. And I'll play like a short clip of it over this.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we can just educate you a little bit. You really don't know that one?
I don't.
Trapped in the closet.
Freaking
my
Weekend.
Jam.
Baby, I'm about to have me some fun.
Okay,
that's the remix edition.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know. I was really into Usher for a long time.
Really?
In that age, Usher, R. Kelly. I was very R&B-ish. Blackstreet was my shit.
Really?
Oh, I love Blackstreet. I made those guys. I made all these people listen to Blackstreet like 19
You
times
listen
last
to
week.
Boys to Men?
Boyz II Men was too slow of a jam for me. R. Kelly had beats, he could it was almost
He was like a hip hop. He was like an R&B rapper.
Exactly, he was
almost,
a little bit closer to hip hop,
Yeah.
and they just could keep R&B. The R&B for the Boyz II Men is more like middle-aged women who are into black men but don't want to admit it to their husbands. That's what they listen to.
Yep.
It's the southern. It's the Southern wife who her only dance move is holding her wine in one hand, putting her hand up to God's other, and shaking her butt. Praise, you can't see me at home, but I'm nailing this dance move.
The man has hips. It's true.
That's what they listen to. That's what
they
they
do
think
not
is
lie.
R&B.
Those hips do not lie.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't go 10 minutes on R&B, 5 minutes on R. Kelly, and at least 1 minute doing the dance of that Southern mother.
I don't know. I think that it's funny. So, the look that I've seen on a woman's face when "Pony" by Genuine comes in. Yes, based on the we have a agreement. It's
Genuine
it's beautiful.
Is Genuine awesome?
Yes,
But have you seen Parks and Rec?
Yeah,
He makes an appearance in Parks and Rec. He's
Genuine was on Parks
He's
and Rec.
Donna's cousin. He's in 3 episodes.
Shit.
Yes, and at one point it's Donna and Tom, the 2 best characters on that show, and they're talking to Ann Perkins, the the catalyst for that entire show, and they're talking about Genuine. She's like, yeah, my cousin's Genuine. We're gonna hang out with him. She's like, who's Genuine? They're like, you don't know who Genuine is? And they just make her listen. They just like look her deadpan straight in the eye and just play his songs until she's like, okay, I still don't know who Genuine is.
Right, sure.
This my wife gave me the same look. I was like, you don't know who Genuine is? Click. Like, I don't know why it was queued up on my
Genuine
playlist. Like,
button.
got it.
Because
Click.
you wanted to get some is what it was.
Well, my metronome's broken, so I gotta have something to keep it beat to.
Well, based on your little dance earlier, you don't need a metronome. You've got rhythm,
Oh,
Mr. White Boy.
I got rhythm for days.
rhythm for days, son.
I don't have any
His
presidents.
rhythm's back.
I don't have any president's masks, but I have been wearing my Red Hood mask that I got for Halloween.
There you go.
And just quoting Bane. 2 different villains, but that's just a thing I've been doing lately. All the time.
Why wouldn't you? I mean,
Not exclusively bed, but just, like, do you feel it, Chad? It slowly becomes Sean Connery as I do it.
Yeah, every time.
You're the man now, dog.
You're the man now, dog.
Yeah,
that dog.
I was listening to that on the way over, trying to get warmed up. It's feeling pretty good.
So you're a fan of After Hours from Cracked?
Oh, for sure.
We did an impromptu After Hours here the other night.
Did you?
And I'm going to toss my theory out here because I'm never going to do an After Hours video because that's obviously taken.
Yeah.
But we're just sitting here and I was talking about it and I said, guys, theory. Sean Connery's character is the same from James Bond into Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Interesting.
My theory is that because he had went around womanizing, killing all these people, he went on the lam. He put because James Bond is supposed to be kind of dumb, as you lead to believe, but Sean Connery's character was a little bit more MacGyver. Like he just was making shit out of pen lasers.
He's clever, yeah.
Yeah, he was a little bit more clever. So I could lead him to believe that he got some sort of degree and went on the lam. So he moves to America. And he has this kid, they just kind of live in is it Arizona that they lived in the desert, or was it Nevada?
I want to say it was Utah, but I mean,
was it Utah? They lived in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, the American
and
West.
This would explain why young Indy is super trained. His father trained him to protect himself against super spies. Because there's that scene in Last Crusade where it flashes back, and young Indy is just fighting Nazis on a train. That's not something I could do as a Boy Scout. I'll tell you that right now. I learned how to make a fuck ton of cupcakes and sell a bunch of popcorn. That's what I learned as a Boy Scout.
We never.
No, that's true.
my troop never sold any popcorn.
Well, fuck you.
That's awesome.
That just means you're a terrible Boy Scout.
It's absurd how much of that stuff is how much of time as a child I spent raising money for things.
Oh god, they just pimped us out, man.
Fundraisers, all.
But I never fought one Nazi on a train. I can guarantee that. But he's up there and he's already got that pragmatism and this belongs in a museum. So I'm gonna murder you guys because it's for the good of the
that's
people.
not pragmatism. That's
I know,
idealism.
That's idealism. As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, but but they knew what I meant,
Yes.
Richard.
No, of course.
The complete opposite of what I said. Why didn't you get that?
Okay, right here and now, I want to say that I said that something was literate, which means that you can read.
Read, right.
And what I meant was
Literally?
literally, or And I remember I said it. I listened to the podcast again. I said it 4 times, and I'm like, God, I'm the dumbest person in the entire.
That's you know that no one listens to this, right?
That's what I was just gonna say.
Hopefully that one at least. Hopefully there was something got interrupted.
Now that you've pointed it
There's
out,
an
though,
error.
if this podcast does go anywhere, they're going to go back and just do a supercut of every single time we fucked up using a word.
Dude, I've recorded 3 episodes. This is the 4th episode I've recorded. Massive mistakes. I remember I referenced what was it? Instead of Reservoir Dogs, I referenced Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And I got it mixed up in the podcast that you and I did, and I was like, I went back and listened to it, I'm like, oh God, why the fuck am I so stupid?
It's Tarantino. It's all the same.
But it's just the obsessive nature of how deep we are into pop culture. Just like I just said, I did an entire After Hours just in this room. No one's watching. No one gave a fuck about the theory, but my friends listened to it for a good 15 minutes. They're like, I mean.
Did anyone have anything to?
Yeah, I don't have it all. I can't remember because my short-term memory's gone because I've slept 1 hour in the past 3 days.
Sure.
And it was a whole 30-minute long conversation.
Yeah, we developed an entire theory. I have a notebook somewhere, and I might actually do something with it just so I have it on record.
Sure.
Because I have that's my new theory because my other theory was that steroids could be used in the Star Wars universe.
Midichlorian, we talked about that.
Yeah, except for
been
I had to take that away because not take it away, but like Michael Swain
credit.
from After Hours said it offhandedly like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had never come across it, so I didn't like take it. But I was like, that was mine.
You included that in your intro for the last.
Oh,
podcast.
of course. Yeah, no, I'm never going
That's
to take
smart.
credit for something. And plus,
No.
those guys are like my heroes.
You're good for that.
So
yeah.
I would never be like, yeah, that's totally my idea. Full credit. As I say in the podcast, I'm like, this is my idea. No one ever said this before.
You said as long as nobody said it before me because I don't know if they have.
Of course, this is America.
You're a good man. That's appreciative.
What's it called when across the world people develop the same idea? It's like a group consciousness, but it's like,
No, I know what you're saying. It's like when they say like fire was not developed in one place and it just spread out.
yeah, same thing with the light bulb.
hunter-gatherers.
Like everybody
Yeah.
was working on a light bulb at the same time, just because that's just like our collective like mind. Exactly.
Inventions are a little bit different.
And
Inventions
I'm
more 'cause,
comparing my Star Wars theory to the creation of light bulbs. It's on the same level, and me and Michael Swain were just like on the same wavelength. there.
As in, they both started out dimly.
Well done.
as they shake hands over the table.
Well
It's
done.
cute. It's
Well done.
You get a slow clap for that one.
But since we're on
my-
Star Wars theories, I had a small idea last night. Took me a while to come up with it. It hurt.
Small idea for a
It
small
hurt.
man.
Yeah,
Yes,
indeed.
sir.
But what
That's
if?
just mean.
I was talking about his penis again.
Hey, you don't know.
It's
Oh,
dark.
we-
It's
oh.
dark.
Oh, we
It's
know.
so it pulls the light out of the room like Link's Master Sword spin attack from Ocarina of Time. Yeah, and then it just absorbs the light. I'm like, what is happening? The lights start to flicker.
Is that why the power went out the other day?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I can't control
You're
it.
saying it's like a gravity well?
It's like
But for
Hancock,
light.
when Charlize Theron and Will Smith are just like approaching each other, and like storms are happening. There's twisters everywhere, lightning striking, and it starts to get dark. And then Dave's penis appears.
Was that this pod or one of these podcasts that we talked about? Where
Dave's penis?
No. This is the first time. This is a very
Every
penile
future
podcast. I realize that.
podcast.
Of course.
I know that there was this deleted scene from Hancock where he had sex with someone and like killed him when he came or something like that. Where like shot through his body and killed him or something.
That's I don't think we was on
a
this
deleted
podcast,
scene.
but that's a thing that happens. Yeah, it's not even a deleted scene anymore. It's just in the Blu-ray edition now. It's just
Really?
like part of the normal cut. Yeah, it like the cum shoots through his roof, and you hear her go ah. He's like, look, when I get close, you gotta move. And she's like, no, I understand. He's like, no, listen. You gotta move. It's like the only time he's real in that movie.
Jesus.
Like other than like spoilers when he gets shot in like 1925. Like
No shit.
it was the last time
It's
you
been
saw
a long time.
Hancock.
It's been a long.
I
I don't ever have
too many
any-
times because I am
God.
insane.
Why would you ever want to see that movie?
I've seen every movie like 1,000
Yeah, I
times.
know. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
Dave.
were
Sorry.
talking-
Star Wars.
Back to your
Okay.
Penises.
Yes.
Back
So
to your penis.
the penis in Star Wars. No, my bad.
C3PO's hitting penis.
Yes.
Those are called lightsabers.
Oh, that movie makes a lot more sense now.
They vibrate.
Oh.
Anyways,
But what if Kylo Ren was a clone of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
why Obi-Wan? Are you just like stringing words together at this point?
I mean, kinda.
Yes. It's just like, we've talked about him being a clone of Darth Vader, but like, why Obi-Wan?
Why not Obi-Wan?
You're just playing Mad Libs now.
Why
You're
was
just playing Mad Libs
why
Star
isn't
Wars
he,
theories?
the clone of Greedo. I mean, who fucking knows?
If that Sith theory is to be believed, he could be a clone of Jar Jar Binks,
Oh, yes.
the Gungan from
From the
Naboo.
movie.
oh god,
Battlestar
I certainly
Galactica.
hope not.
I love that theory. That the fucking Jar Jar Binks, the comedy relief in quotations that George Lucas came up with was secretly a Sith. Have you seen that theory?
I've heard that.
And you see him like he's like mouthing like that's a real thing that happens. Like I went back and watched that. Like people weren't editing that. Like he was mouthing all of those characters' lines when like they were doing things out of character.
Really?
So like that leads me to believe like there's a possibility, but also I don't trust that George Lucas has that kind of foresight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean he's a good movie creator, but that takes a lot. And that's a lot to gamble on. I mean, he did gamble on Jar Jar Binks, period.
Sure.
But I feel like he would have, like, not hated us so much to not finish that plot out.
He doesn't strike me as the kind of person to put like little Easter eggs in his movie like that, where kind of like it's going to hint for something that's released like 20 years down the road.
There are one or two really good references in the prequels that he's added in, and also the recuts of 4, 5, and 6, like that show the ship from Shadow of the Empire. like a couple of the really good expanded universe books.
where they have God, what's that fucking?
I mean, and like think
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar's
How
ship,
the
yeah.
fuck did I pull that out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, what's Bespin? You know,
Bespin, yeah.
yeah, like that was he didn't create Bespin. Like that was a thing that the
Expanded Universe or something?
yeah, the Expanded Universe
Right.
came up with.
Mhm.
Like, and he was just like, yeah, or no, was it Bespin? The Imperial head planet, like their
Coruscant?
Coruscant. That's what it was.
Okay.
Coruscant was created in the books,
Okay.
Really?
and yeah,
No
and he was
kidding.
just like,
Well, that makes sense. It wasn't in the movies.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, and he was just like, oh yeah, let's use Coruscant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like it's like mentioned like in you know
Yeah, definitely.
1, 2, and 3. So
That's really
Coruscant.
cool.
yeah, so I mean like he does do Easter eggs just not well. I'd say like he doesn't give you the ones that you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he did gamble the entire series on Jar Jar Binks anyway, so that could have been a thing. I just don't, it's the same thing they were talking about actually on Crack.com. They're like, so we're arguing for more Jar Jar Binks. So like you don't want it to be
No,
true,
you
kind
don't.
of like
Absolutely not.
that's exactly what 1, 2, and 3 need, right? Is more Jar Jar Binks, whether it be good or bad, right? So
Well, in the Clone Wars, there was the episode where I don't remember what planet they were on, but they were talking about, or they all thought that he was actually a Jedi.
right,
Yeah.
because he
I
does
remember
the same
that
thing that he does in the movies, that all that slapstick fighting, like
Yep.
he survives. They're like, what? So is he secretly a Jedi? And they're like, I mean, makes sense. I'm like,
Yeah, sure.
it does make sense, like, which is scary for me.
Well, this is like in the head. I remember you guys ever played Dragon Warrior on the NES?
Of course.
So they had
Look at the room that you were talking to.
Jordan
I haven't
shook
played
his
it.
head.
I,
Okay,
I don't. I don't.
Jordan
think
got
I
to see
played it
boobs
either.
when he was younger. Okay.
He's a lucky man. It's good. It's good. You right. You put your onus on the right stuff. But they had like a class that was like jokers or
Yep.
jesters
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah, I
Where
know
they-
what you're talking about.
Yeah, where they were like terrible combat stats, terrible agility stats, but they had like luck way higher than anyone
Yep.
else.
And they could deal critical hits like a motherfucker.
Exactly. And so like in the kind of like D&D fantasy trope kind of world, like Jar Jar Binks is that kind of like, okay, he's not going to help you in a fight, but I mean like there's the 1 in 1,000 chance where like he's going to be able to accomplish a thing that no one else, any of the characters
Exactly.
in the
There's
series
that higher critical strike chance.
I would completely agree with that if every scene he was in, he wasn't rolling a 20.
could. Yeah.
Every single time. So, like, it's like the first movie you see him, he winds up with the strongest Jedi and, like, the only 2 good Jedi, really,
Yeah.
that know what they're doing. And, he goes through them with that adventure. Then the next movie we see him, he's a goddamn senator. And then the third one, like, he's, like, almost running the Galactic Council. Like, he's just, like, running shit. Like, don't tell me that, like, in every conversation he has, he just, like, picks the perfect dialogue choice and just, like, rolls a 20. Like, Misa going to get a promotion.
Well, no, it's here's the thing. He's not rolling 20s every single time because there's a lot of the footage that we don't see. And I assume they're just cherry picking. So it's like there's a lot of shit where he fails and he like looks really dumb.
Well-
I mean, he always looks pretty dumb, but you know what I'm saying.
Like that whole, they were on Tatooine and he gets his hand caught in the pod racer.
Yeah.
And then his face gets
yeah,
zapped.
exactly right.
Almost.
Yeah, but, like, he does that on purpose, and he's fine, though.
He
That's the
doesn't
thing.
do it on purpose. He doesn't put his face in between the power coupling or whatever.
No, but he sticks his tongue out and he does it. But like that's the thing is like anybody else would have died, right? I mean like that's essentially plasma. Lightsabers are made of something similar. Those decapitate people.
I don't think you can put something that can melt through like blast shield doors to something that numbs someone's face on the same level. I really don't think those are equivalent.
I agree. I mean, we cannot necessarily talk the physics of the Star Wars world. Number one, because none of us have a physics degree for our world.
Yeah. So we couldn't even begin to speculate.
But I just mean like if all that footage is to believe like the extra, what we didn't see of Jar Jar, shouldn't he be dead? Is he just the Forrest Gump of this universe then? Are you saying that like completely all luck that he's at every single important moment?
Do you think that like Jar Jar Binks is like a clone they're using to like monitor like upcoming like very powerful like young
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Sith or
There's something important about him because like
There
he
is. I mean,
he
now
can't
I'm
just be
convinced.
he can't just be like Forrest Gump where he just like is at all those real places because spoiler alert, Forrest Gump isn't real. Nobody was at all those events.
Well, no shit. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Exactly. Jar Jar Binks, like if I'm applying this theory to that as well. Jar Jar Binks was at every single important moment of Anakin's life, right up to the end. Like he's in Revenge of the Sith, but he watches him go to the dark side.
No, it's true. It's true.
So like if he was there for all the Little Annie. If he was there for all those events, don't you think that somebody would have murdered him if he wasn't?
God.
You know.
Well, that's the thing. I think
Don't do
it's
that
the
ever
perfect
again.
beard. I think he's just he's the peaceful, the lovable idiot.
Exactly.
Is the one that you're never going to be like, oh, he's fine. It's like he can stay in the room when we talk about our secret plan. He's okay.
Exactly.
And then there's this giant shadowy government, like all powerful shadow government. That's cloning Jar Jar Binks, and and also in every little cadre of heroes and stuff. This is where they put one of him in there. And so they're secretly sabotaging every young group of heroes.
There's secretly
in
Jar
the
Jar Binks everywhere,
universe.
right?
No. But this is an archetype. So it's like the silly Gungan, the silly Jawa, the silly Wookiee.
See, I think there's got to be something more benevolent about him because he's always lurking in all of the scenes where they're talking about what they're going to do, and there's just no reason for it. So you're saying he fits as lovable in the background, but then we see his fighting skills, displayed. You can call him luck or whatever.
Fighting skills.
He drunk fights like martial arts like the
sure.
drunken master. All of those droids.
Yeah, when he had a droid's arm tied to his leg and he's ducking
And he
it
ducks,
shoots.
he shoots, it snipes it. That's not something you can do as a lucky person. I'm a lucky person.
No, that's exactly that luck is his only combat proficiency.
But what I'm saying is luck does not account for everything that's happened to him. If you add up all the luck die,
all the rerolls.
exactly, it does not add up. You don't run the Galactic Council with luck. He's information brokering at least. He might not be a Sith. I don't think he's a clone, but he's selling information to
So
somebody
you're
at
saying
least.
he's the equivalent of Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, maybe. Except for Jabba he was running small time. He was on Tatooine.
Well, planet systems. I mean, remember they call it Hutt space?
Yeah, but if you learn the expanded universe doesn't exist anymore. So you go by the comics now. In the comics, there's a series of Huts that share a mafia.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was.
Whereas in Jar Jar only shares with other people on the council. He's thinking long term. He's like Frank Underwood.
Yeah. He's a deep cover agent.
No, he's secretly just maneuvering all these pieces until he becomes emperor.
I love it.
What if Palpatine's under his thumb?
He's the one that really.
And he's just playing Mace Windu against the Emperor and the whole thing, and he's just.
You can't see, but I'm nodding intensely.
He set up that shit up, man.
He's the one that gave
what
the
it
order
is.
to give the order to
And you know
execute
what?
Order 66.
And right now, Jar Jar Binks is my favorite character in Star Wars.
You
Right
said
now,
execute-
after this conversation.
He used to execute Order 66. Leave Annie.
This is the greatest hypothetical I've ever come up with. This is wonderful.
See,
Oh my God.
this is people ask me, they're like, why do you spend hundreds of hours watching all these movies? I'm like, this is why.
This is
because
it.
this is all I care about. Actual politics? Fuck that.
Space politics and trade federations? Hell yeah.
That's right,
Oh,
man.
I know the entire embargo deal for the Galactic Trade Federation. I can recite it word for
I know
word.
because you've gone on and on.
Those
Ad nauseum. Yes, thank you, Terry.
I use it to torture Dave when he wouldn't do what I wanted him to do. So I just would constantly quote the trade embargo.
Terry bases his in all of his contractual interactions based off of the proto contract between the Trade Federation and the Alliance.
I'm just saying that was a really shitty deal that they gave.
I mean, let's not even bring up the Techno Union Army
Oh, Jesus
God,
Christ.
You know?
Those are the days.
or the banking clan.
The Clone Wars is essentially their Vietnam.
Oh God.
Everyone felt it was necessary, but there was enough of us against it where there was peaceful rallies against it.
Yeah, I suppose. It's kind of I don't know. It's none of us are. We're all pretty young to have. It's none of us have been in.
So I didn't say my Vietnam
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if anything made me sound privileged and white if I said Star Wars was my Vietnam.
Yes, because we can't exactly own the suffering that happened.
I have an uncle who's in Vietnam and he has all the telltale signs of all the PTSD. He shoots squirrels out of his cabin. That's what he does.
For fun or for food?
Both.
I mean, at least
They're
he
not
eats-
mutually
At least he
exclusive.
eats some of them.
Oh no, he eats them all of them.
Well, that's what I meant.
It's a day. He
Does he-
goes out, shoots
Does
one,
he
puts
eat
it in
them
the freezer.
raw, and is he wearing clothes when he eats them? That's the
He
most
can't
important
cook,
part.
so it leads me to believe there's a possibility that he might be eating them raw.
I had a cousin of mine who lived in Bloomfield Hills who skinned a squirrel and ate it, and they're just kind of like, oh yeah.
How do you do that in Bloomfield Hills?
They've got squirrels and BB guns there too, man. You don't
He's
got to be a
killing with a
redneck to
BB
do
gun?
it. Yeah.
Pellet guns,
Oh, yeah,
BB
sure.
guns.
Oh, this is he's just straight up rifling these things through his window.
Jesus.
But Dave, you've seen my uncle's cabin. You've been to the Sakura's household.
Yeah.
A friend of ours up north who lives next door to my grandmother. That's where my uncle lives, right next door to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I understand that shit.
Yeah, it's just this like red cabin, back in the woods, no insulation with a fireplace.
Not gonna
and
lie, when I
a
saw it,
Vietnam veteran.
I didn't think it was inhabited.
Yeah,
Really?
you wouldn't. It's like
Look
Rambo.
at that abandoned old cabin. Let's go spend the night there.
He is fucking Rambo, except for
Because,
like 25 years older.
Like in that area, there's all sorts of like shitty buildings that people don't live in, and then
So
there's
you think now?
there's
That's
shitty
like-
buildings that people do live in.
Come to find out, it's all inhabited, and they're all
They
just
just-
Ramboing it out in the fucking woods.
They
or
live in the
making meth.
Yes,
Either
they
way.
live in the trap doors under the floor,
Yeah.
Where the top floor is just empty and there's water damage and stuff to like make sure that there's nothing here, nothing of consequence. Then you go under the floor.
They live
That's where the
live
shit
in
is.
a vault underneath
Yes.
there, and they have to press a button every hour or the world gets destroyed.
See, I thought this was gonna be a Fallout reference.
This is very much turning into Cabin
No, this
in
is-
the Woods, the
this-
whole thing.
This is Desmond from Lost because that's as far as I got into Lost.
Never saw Lost. Couldn't make it through the first.
Watch the
episode.
first like
I got it
3
through the
seasons.
first season.
Couldn't even make it through the first episode. Oh, the scary wind monster! Woo!
They didn't have any monsters in the first season.
Yeah, it was the thing would shake. They
Yeah.
would like they fucking did.
You didn't see anything.
yeah,
but,
Okay, yeah, like
but
I
they
see what you're
talked
saying,
about
like,
it and they were
yeah.
all scared.
Yeah, they're like,
And then
could that
what's his
be?
name? Jack. They're like Jack goes up. He's like, I'll go out there. I'll go.
That
find
that
it."
was the big twist in season 3 is when it started to go supernatural. Is like polar bear shows up, the smoke monster shows up. It like takes this really weird turn, like where you're like, oh, these guys they're obviously in limbo or something, like because all this weird shit. But the first 2 seasons are specifically just like surviving on an island, which I found like super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And then doing the flashbacks to like people before. That's why I thought that series was awesome. And then it took this huge genre twist, and I was like. I'm into that kind of stuff. Like, this is dumb.
First, I mean, that show was so fucking popular. I mean, that people must have dug it.
I mean, only for a little while. Like the later
they
on
ended
seasons,
it.
yeah. Like the people didn't really like. They
In
it fell
my-
off drastically.
In my sphere, so many people I know watch it. Like almost everyone. Like I was the outlier.
Right, but you're a little bit older than us though. So like that was like a
Sure.
a mainstream like genre show they hadn't done in a long time. You know what I mean? Like it's like nowadays, like
What was it like? 10 years ago, something like that.
it's
Was
been,
it
it's
that
been a
long
while.
ago?
I was young. Like my like if I do that time, like my father was like still alive like when Lost was ending. So like that was like 2008.
Let's find out.
It
Google will
ended
have the
like
answers for us.
2010. I think.
Yeah, like it's been off the air for a while. But yeah, it's one of those shows where like it changes drastically after like the first 2 seasons. Like the first 2 seasons, like the craziest thing that happens, like they find like a vault, like I said, with a dude who presses a button to make sure the world doesn't implode.
Wow.
And there is a golf course. They make a golf course.
They make a golf course.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Do they
because,
start
like,
a business?
No. They're like they
They get a small business loan, and it's like
they have nothing else to do on the island, so they find a couple clearings, and they have one set of golf clubs, and they all take turns, and they golf.
Okay, so it started in September 2004 to May 2010.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it was the year the year after I graduated high school.
Man, you're old.
Okay. I live it up. It's
No,
real.
wait, what year did you graduate high school?
2003.
Oh, I thought you
No.
were saying 2010 or the
It
2009.
ended 2010.
Yeah, I thought you were saying that. I was
It
like,
started
the
2004.
fuck? I was like, 2003. Like that fits more on the timeline of like your age that I thought you were. I was like, when you said that, I was like, there's no way you're only a few years younger than us. Like, what happened to you? You tell me that
You look
story.
terrible.
You just have a bigger beard than me, and I want to know what I'm doing
Who
wrong.
hurt you, Richard?
Had my Wheaties.
You're safe here.
So, not lost.
Not lost. Okay, so I would.
Found.
Get out.
So, I would like to talk about Jessica Jones a little bit. I heard you guys talked the other day about the first episode.
Yeah, we talked about the first episode.
Do you
and
need more
then-
time to process it, or
We don't want to go too far into it because I want to do just a spoiler cast on it. We'll just do like a special thing
Okay.
after once we've all seen it. But me and Jordan have watched the first 12 episodes. There's only 13. Dave, how many have you seen? Like 6?
Yeah, six.
Six?
Yep.
How many have you seen?
I saw the beginning of the first one. I didn't.
So we don't want
Yeah.
to spoil anything for you.
So
but
I
like,
think that if you guys have seen it and we're gonna do a thing on it, and I want to be included, then I will watch.
We'll just do, like, our
I'll
initial-
force myself to like it.
exactly. You don't have to like it, but
Or
like
tolerate it at
if you're not gonna watch it, we can then talk about it at a future time still. So you don't have to feel pressured.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can still discuss it. You know?
Well, it might actually be interesting to have someone like one of the things I was listening to our last podcast is when I didn't know something about it, and I would be like, so like why is this thing like this, and like why did that happen? And then you can be like, and to have someone who hasn't been exposed opposed to it,
Right.
you can ask those questions and be like, yeah, that is kind of a continuity hole. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that we were talking about that, and it does tie back in together. Actually, as it comes full circle in the series.
What does?
Yeah. Again, I don't want to spoil too much. So I'll just say, like, in the first episode, she's stalking some people.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it later on in the episodes.
Okay.
So, like, we were just like, that's kind of random. She's just stalking people. And then later on, just like, oh, she's doing it on purpose. But since
Okay.
they expect you to binge watch the show, they can do that. That's what I was actually going to ask you, because you don't watch, like, a lot of TV. You told me, like, you're not a big TV fan.
No, I haven't in
How
a
do you
while.
feel about these Netflix shows that are, like, you have to watch, like, 10 hours to get the full story?
I think it's really nice in a lot of aspects. I really appreciate the idea of being able to consume it at your own pace.
Right.
Because I mean, if you have, if you're like we've talked about in the past, if you're like a brand new parent and you can watch, like half an hour a day,
Right.
you can do that. That's great. You can watch it all. If you want it all right now, you're like, I've got my cocaine, I've got my Mountain Dew, I've got my Cheetos, and you're like, I'm watching all of it.
We literally bought, like, 4 pizzas,
Yep.
drank Mountain Dew, and just watched all night.
It's awesome.
Well, we were
That's
waiting
great.
all day to watch it
Because of Dave.
Dave was at work, and then we started watching it at like
Work,
midnight.
Dave.
Yeah, it was
close
pretty
to
late.
Midnight. We started watching it last night, and then went all the way until like 10 o'clock this morning.
Do you no just as a very loose, is it worth watching or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like it.
Worth the time.
Even like, actually, as a standpoint of not being like a comic book fan, I think people would like it.
It seemed
more.
pretty approachable. Without, I mean, like even Daredevil was less approachable than this.
Yes, Daredevil, like, you still have a vigilante fighting crime, and that's not what Jessica Jones is.
right,
Jessica Jones, like, do you like film noir?
Yeah, definitely.
Jessica Jones is very much a film noir, like down
Investigation. I
down
love
to
that.
the voiceover that she has, to the dialogue, the way that she does,
cool.
like, like, even though she's the woman, it's still very much of, woman with a problem walks into the office,
sure.
you know.
It's just another woman solving it.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. That's great.
It is so cool.
And even the music choices are very noir.
This deals with even more adult situations than what Daredevil did. Like, there's still violence in this. Yeah, but it's much more psychological.
Yeah.
They deal.
I dig that.
They deal with
Dark psychological.
they deal with sexual assault. Very positively is the wrong word, but in an enlightened way. Yeah, honestly, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put
Realistic,
it. Like, realistic,
okay.
completely. And the victims in the show do not blame themselves. They're very much of.
It doesn't show it graphically, but it's there. It happened.
Exactly.
Deal with it.
They don't dance around it, and they also don't try to victimize the characters. Like, they are people, they are strong people, and they are able to overcome what has happened to them in such a good way. Like, they do such a good.
positive.
Yeah, it's very very much a positive victim story. If there can be one, and behind that, like I said, it's this gritty film noir, and feminist is the wrong word, because it very much portrays
That
all of
word
them as.
that word has a lot of baggage. So
It really
pro,
does.
Pro female.
Exactly, pro female is a better way to put it. Like, 'cause they're just awesome,
Nice.
and she's the most compelling character in it. She's definitely an alcoholic,
Yeah.
which is it's weird to have a character talk about it so openly. Seeing like there's essentially a junkie in the show, and he's like talks openly about addiction in a very good way. Like they portray detox in a kind of like a time lapse period. It's
Okay.
like how that goes through. So like a little fast and loose with how that happened, but they handle all these adult themes in this comic book show in the same way that the Alias comic book. Have you read that by Brian Michael Bendis? You should totally.
I
check
know
it out.
Alias was extremely famous.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really really good. You should check it out. But they handle all these themes super super well, which was unexpected. Not that I thought there was going to be cartoony, but I thought it was almost going to be a little gratuitous sometimes. Like, there's sex scenes. They're handled well. They're tasteful. They don't linger too long. They linger just long enough to make you uncomfortable on purpose. Like, 'cause the characters get awkward because sex is an awkward thing. When you're having casual sex
The
with
first
people,
time, yeah, sure.
it's an awkward thing that happens. So, or walking in on people having sex, it's an awkward thing that happens, and they portray that better than most movies do. It's not
It's not
glamorized.
hilarious and hijinks.
Exactly. There's not a lot of combat in this show either. It's a lot of just deep conversations, which was part of like the staple of that comic book. So it's not just comic book characters beating each other up.
And then the combat that does happen is just like great. It's
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, it's
very well
Daredevil
portrayed.
level great?
Not the choreography because they're not martial artists,
Okay.
but it's still
Brawly,
very
fun.
brawly, very realistic. Like they portray it well.
Right. It doesn't last way longer than it needs to, but it's also not like a 2-second fight.
Okay.
Guns are all portrayed very well. Also, like people throw guns, they don't just go off randomly. because
wait, throwing guns at each other?
no, it's like in movies, it's a trope.
She could have shot him, but instead she threw the gun at him.
No, when you're dealing with
It's like Trigun.
when you're dealing with weapons in movies, oftentimes they'll throw it, and as a trope, the gun goes off.
Okay.
In this, people turn the safety on. People throw a gun; they're manufactured not to go off. It happens.
I see what you're saying.
The people run out of ammo.
Yeah, you can't actually like toss a gun down and go off and shoot.
Somebody has a revolver; they have only 6 shots.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's not too comic booky.
Exactly. Like they do. It's not comic booky at all, actually.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that sometimes she jumps and has super strength.
Well, sure. Yeah. No.
You almost wouldn't know this is about superheroes for a long time.
I didn't at first.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be more of a Batman type superhero.
Yeah.
Where she just had, because I don't know anything of the Jessica Jones mythos. So I expected her just to be kind of like, oh, she's smart or she's really resourceful.
Exactly. I'm really big into the noir films, and because I'm lame, like if like a dame walks into the office and she's just already trouble. Those are my movies, and that's this all over the place. So like you have to like the kind of pulpy dialogue, like very Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Sure, yeah.
Not as pop culture referencey, just very like heightened,
quippy.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you dig that.
Like they always say the right thing at the right time with just enough pause where you're like, did she have to remember the line?
That can be hard sometimes.
It can be, and like it does, like whenever she's drinking. But like that's something that happens when you drink. You're not on top of your game. Like you pause, you have to go, okay, what's that cool line I want to say?
I don't know, man. Like that makes that like I feel like depending on the circumstance, like that can really smooth out any of that like social anxiety that like where it can put you in that zen state that we talked about, like with video games.
Unless you're another 9 deep.
No, it's true. That's a good point.
Which
yes,
she is through the entire
just,
show.
Swig out of like a whiskey or a bourbon bottle, and it's like 4 or 5 shots in just one.
Like we started playing a game of like just counting all the different kinds of whiskey she drinks.
You try to keep up with her?
Oh, we were going to, but we'd be dead. But they're just all over the place. Like she goes from like Wild Turkey to Haven Hill to Wild Fowl. Like
Wild, yeah.
Yeah, it's like she just like drinks all these like crazy whiskeys. We're googling them. Oh, that one's real. That one's real.
No shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of attention to detail. Now, if the first episode didn't grab you, I'm not one to go watch 2 and 3. Like you gotta watch 7 episodes to really understand it.
I completely believe that a pilot episode is not representative of the whole series for the most part.
I agree, except for in the case of Netflix, those episodes usually represent the series pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way because it's a different format.
Exactly, and they make them all at the same time. There's no pitch episode. This isn't network television.
All
So
right.
if you didn't like the first one, you might not like the rest. I do recommend watching the second one.
Here's the thing, though, and I think this is important with to talk about like the conversation that we have about media and art in general. Is your environment greatly affects how you perceive it.
Of course.
And like I was watching on the couch, and like my girlfriend Jessica was kind of like playing on her computer and doing some stuff. So we weren't like she wasn't really watching it, and we just gotten done watching Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Oh, that's such a
Completely
great movie.
different tone.
Yeah,
too.
it's a different tone. And mostly I was just kind of putting it on to have it on.
Gotcha.
I was kind of like, I'm slightly interested in this.
Whereas with us, it became event television.
Yeah,
We were waiting for it.
I feel like if I had watched it with you guys, you invited me over, I could have watched it with you guys.
I was like, yeah, totally. Come over, watch Jessica Jones. You're like, I'm gonna have sex with women
I did have a
and
date
then
night
eat
that I was very
expensive
excited
food.
for. It was nice.
and go out as an adult. So no,
Bourbon glazed burger. Oh, so good.
I'm gonna have one
I'm
of
gonna
those.
I'm gonna
now.
take you guys there. It's really good. It's really good.
Are you
It's
gonna
really
buy?
Hey, listen, like if it's one of those things where if that's the only way to like go out and like to hang out with you guys, absolutely.
The only
It's the only
place
way
we
to get
eat-
Terry out.
Exactly. The only place I eat is the Coney Dog across the street from my home, literally.
Otherwise, we make a Beaky's run and get a bunch of hot dogs.
Yeah.
And ultra ribbed pizza rolls.
You have talked about hot dogs on every episode of this podcast you've done so far.
Okay, so we had a previous podcast before this, and every episode we checked in on my health because my diet consisted of hot dogs, honey buns, blueberries, milkshakes, and beer.
That's another thing you've mentioned before on the podcast.
All I ate. Those are the food groups. That was my pyramid.
don't wanna know my food
so your environment is really affected. For instance,
Very indicative of like how you're going to treat that property.
Absolutely. So Grandma's Boy is a great example of this. The movie Grandma's Boy.
Oh my goodness!
I watched that movie. I got off of work. We were smoking weed. We were drinking beers, and it was fucking hilarious.
Best movie you've ever seen,
It was
right?
so good.
We
Oh
don't
my
do
God.
that to anything, but
I was talking to my buddies the next day. I'm like, guys, we have to watch Grandma's Boy. It's so funny. And so he watches. My buddy, my cousin Lachlan, watches it middle of the day by himself in his room. He's like, It had some funny moments.
That's
I
okay.
didn't really get into it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you watched it wrong. You watched it wrong.
Right,
You just
no.
did.
I completely agree. It's the same. Like sometimes, like I'll recommend video games. They're like, I played the first 20 minutes. It wasn't for me. Like I was listening to my show. It was more. She was like, no. You got to focus on this game. Listen to the score. When that chick dies, like, oh, spoiler. You know, like you have to want it to be good. That's the thing. Like I'm never one for wasting your time. If you don't like something, don't do it. There's too much media to consume for you to like something that you don't like. But there's something about having hope. You know what I mean? Like I don't mean to like make it all like fantasy, but like there's something about like us going, oh, we're gonna wait all day, we're gonna watch all 13 episodes,
awesome.
we're gonna get
Make
Mountain
it an
Dew
event.
pizza. Exactly.
I think you have to give it an opportunity to be awesome.
Right.
You have to be set up and be. I mean, there's something about it. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some part of me that rebels against the idea that, like, to watch a show and it to be good, you have to be drunk or stoned.
Right.
Like, that's kind of something that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, like, it does make things more accessible, and it makes things funnier.
Certain situations are
Right. It makes you
different.
open to a different experience
Yeah.
too. Like say like you're not into the whole film noir thing. I almost knocked it over. if you're not into the whole thing, a few beers might go. All right, I buy that.
Yeah, I mean, it helps you suspend disbelief, certainly. and you know what? It's funny because it does help you focus.
Yeah.
Because you're not checking your phone every 5 seconds. You're not kind of like, oh, what's going on with this person or whatever.
So that was a big thing. So like the first episode we watched with Dave, like we were all kind of not texting, but like me and Jordan had already seen it. Dave was Tindering, so like he's like little preoccupied. But then like as soon as like it starts to pick up, like you see him like he puts his phone down. He's like I'm like whoever he was talking to was like obviously going to bed or like I'm watching this show, and like he didn't pick it up to like the rest of the next 4 episodes. He was like, "This is too good. I can't do this." I was gonna say something like, "Dave, put the fucking phone down." I was like, "He'll do it himself. He'll come around to it." You know what I mean?
And I wasn't like texting during like important scenes.
No,
I
of
was,
course not.
I
No,
was
it's
definitely monitoring. I was like, okay, she's just walking. All right.
She's just chugging down some vodka.
exactly.
She's just walking and she's monologuing. I got this. All right.
so that part of it is also like the fanboyism. Like we read copious amounts of comic books.
Yeah, totally.
We want to like the whole cinematic universe.
Right.
I have one of those. It's not OCD because that's an actual disease, and I hate when people go, "Oh, it's my OCD." But it is what people think OCD is. It's that obsessive mindset where like I want all of it. I want to like it seems like the Star Wars right now. Everyone's reading all of the books, even though the books are kind of shitty. They're reading all the comic books, even though only some of them are good. You know, and we're gonna go watch the prequels again because we want to have the whole story.
Sure.
With the cinematic universe, I've seen everything.
You want to be familiar.
Exactly. I've seen every single movie, every single show. Why stop now? Jessica Jones could be shitty. I'm watching all 13 episodes.
Exactly.
Luke Cage, when that comes out, all of them. Iron Fist, when that comes out, all of them. When that trailer comes out next week, I'm going to masturbate to it.
Which trailer?
I don't know, but I'm just hoping
there's a good one.
Netflix better give me something.
There's something to be said about putting a lot of hype on something that you're going to watch. I mean, a lot of times it's a negative thing. You put too much hype. You get too
Prequels
excited.
are the perfect example.
Yeah, you get too excited for it. Like, oh, like this is my favorite thing. I'm so excited to watch this. And then you watch it. It's not up to your standards.
Like Star Wars is
Exactly.
going to be, and I'm super
but
scared.
there's certain things like a lot of the comic book movies that we watched. Like, I put a decent amount of hype into
Guardians
the
of the
second.
Galaxy was a good one.
It was a really good one, yeah. But like the second Avengers movie, like there were certain things about it that bothered me.
Yeah, we
And-
were really hyped for that, and we did end up going in let down a little bit. I mean, it was a good movie. It's fun. It's comic book movie.
And like
it's
the same
popcorn.
thing with both of the Thor movies. Like I think they're great,
Yeah.
but if I didn't like comic
Comic
books
books?
or Thor
Agreed.
as much as I
Agreed.
did, I probably really wouldn't.
I
have liked
completely.
those
I had a
movies.
revisionist
Totally
history
true.
after watching. I was like, I love those movies, and then I went back. I was like, those movies
Like,
were not that good.
I wanted to love those.
I wanted
movies.
exactly.
Yeah,
I really did. I
exactly.
love Chris Hemsworth.
And the other thing is like those are just a different portrayal of a different story.
Exactly.
of
It's
those
just
characters.
The biggest hype train wreck we've ever had was Dragon Ball Evolution.
oh my goodness.
Me and you, plus some other friends.
like 7 friends. We did
Yeah.
we did 2 cars.
Yep.
We didn't have theater. Like we didn't have theaters where we lived. We didn't though. Like that's
We
a
didn't
legitimate
have
thing.
those
Like,
moving picture screens.
we have to in our hometown. We had to drive a half an hour to get to a movie theater. That movie theater didn't have Dragon Ball Evolution because it was Dragon Ball Evolution. Are you familiar with Dragon Ball Evolution?
yeah.
Yeah, the live action Dragon Ball movie. It was terrible.
So we drove 2 hours
Yeah.
Whoa.
to go see this.
Yeah.
Be fucking disappointed.
Yeah, and it's like not like an
Shit.
easy 2 hours. Like you're on 75, you're on the freeway the entire. No, this is 2 hours of back roads trying to get to Traverse City, which is
Jesus, yeah.
full on northern Michigan.
See, for us, I think Ann Arbor was the only place that was showing that.
Right, which is still a drive for you, you know?
Yeah.
But like
But
we
like
got
an hour
everybody
and
to do because like
15.
we're all nerds. We all love Dragon Ball. We got 2 cars. It was a convoy. We got
Cool.
many inside
Something- a
jokes
fun
out of it.
event, yeah.
It's an experience that we'll remember and enjoy because we went
Yes.
together.
Train tracks, you gone too far.
But that movie was terrible. The train tracks, we got lost, and the dude said, like, if you cross train tracks, you've gone too far. We crossed 3 different sets of train tracks. We did find the movie theater, though, goddamn
Okay.
it. It wasn't the one we were trying to get to. But we found a movie theater that was playing Dragon Ball Evolution.
But we were riding this hype train so hard.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be the
the-
best movie ever. Dragon Ball, real life. How could it go wrong?
The
Spike is going to be Piccolo? This is
but
genius.
actually, we were riding it the opposite way, though. We thought that it was going to be so bad that when we actually saw it, we were impressed.
Exactly. No, seriously. Like, that was all, like what I was saying, like, was sarcasm. Like, it was a big joke for us. And then when we seen it, like, it was like, that wasn't bad. But then you go back and watch that film. Fucking terrible.
If you remember, I've had those memories where you go back and you think about it again, and you were like, "Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah." And you're like trying to talk yourself into it. Nah, this can, like that thing where I do with Sucker Punch, where I'm like, "Yeah, no, I really like that movie. No, it was great. Yeah, absolutely."
No, Terry, you don't understand. There's a deeper meaning. I'm like, the deeper meaning is fine in a good film.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's guilty of that to some extent.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's all objective. People can love a movie, hate a movie. There's no right answer.
Nope.
But Dragon Ball is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
there's a
Dragon
couple
Ball's bad.
movies like everybody was way too hyped up for Avatar, and a lot of people thought it was the most amazing movie.
It was Fern
Oh.
Gully.
It was really cool. Like the graphics and everything were
Exactly.
great.
Oh,
I
beautiful
thought,
film.
I thought the movie was terrible. Honestly,
It was Fern Gully with giant cat people, or pick your flavor. It was Pocahontas with giant cat
It's
people.
the same thing. Yeah,
Same
it's-
story.
Yeah.
Unobtainium.
That was dumb the very first time I heard it.
Yeah.
That's
But-
an actual element in that.
Yeah, I know. I was,
They have sex with their hair, Richard.
that's
I don't know what you're gonna do to
Nerve
defend this, but I'm
clusters.
interested.
I loved Avatar the first 3 times I saw it.
You saw it 3
I saw it
times?
3 times
I fell
in
asleep-
theaters.
I fell
3
asleep
times
when I
in
saw it the
theaters.
first
So, like,
time, during
Oh
the
my
most
God.
action
I loved
scene.
it. I've watched it again since then. Didn't like
My
it as
favorite
much.
portrayal of
Nearly as much.
what rich old white people think nerds are is, have you guys ever seen the show Bones?
Yeah.
So in Bones there was a character, he's one of the interns guys. He's the super nerd. He learns to speak Navi.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yes. So like number one, no one does that. There's not enough of a language there to learn.
No.
Nerds learn like Klingon.
Yeah.
That's the thing we learn.
Yes, it is.
We know Galactic
There's a
Basic.
lot of Klingon out there.
Exactly.
There's a dictionary. There's a Klingon dictionary.
Exactly. You can learn that. No
Yeah.
one learns Navi.
No.
Number two, they're waiting in line to see it like 4 more times, and they're dressed up on all of these different Navi characters from the expanded universe
They didn't
of
pick
that.
a good
No.
franchise. No.
No one thought of Avatar like that. You're the first person who said, like, yeah, I saw Avatar like 3 times.
I really liked Avatar. I don't like it much anymore. I don't even really like it. I was very disappointed when I watched it recently.
It's like I said, it's Fern Gully. Like the graphics in like some of those scenes are cool.
Yeah.
Like they did a
Well,
good
sure.
job. Ridley Scott is a shooter if there ever was one.
That wasn't Ridley Scott.
Not
It was James Cameron.
James Cameron. Thank you. I get those two confused. Aliens and Titanic. Same thing.
Aliens crashed the
The reason
Titanic.
why I get those two confused is because they both are going to run their franchises into the ground.
Dude, I mean, they do weird stuff. They do
Prometheus and
kinda odd-
Prometheus 2. Avatar 1, 2, 3,
Did you
4,
hear
5,
they're
6,
changing the
7.
name? They're actually making an alien.
It's Aliens. It's
gonna be
Aliens
like-
6. No, it's Aliens something.
Whatever.
Colon.
Aliens hyphen yada yada.
Yeah,
bullshit.
they already released the new script like synopsis too.
Really?
Yeah,
God, Prometheus was bad.
it was bad.
That's another movie that was just like you wanted to be like, I want to like this so much, but none of it was real.
It was so cool. The last 5 minutes of that movie were so
Yeah,
cool.
that was awesome.
Where
That was
like
really cool.
she meets the Prometheans and
And
like
the
they take
beginning
off
was
in
cool
space.
too.
Yeah, when they land, except for like those people who were supposed to be like top scientists, like just touching space
I
snakes.
know. Oh my god. You're like these are intelligent people. Only intelligent people would be sent there to do these things, and no intelligent person would ever act like this.
For a
That's what I mean by
specialized
unrealistic.
for a specialized group of the most intelligent people in the universe, they're pretty dumb.
Yeah, super dumb.
They picked the only like 5 people who touch space snakes.
All right, you got a GED. Get up there.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it was billed as a bunch of people who are expendable, you'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, dumb fucks, go and like play around with this alien spaceship so you can get all the booby traps out of the way.
Exactly. No, but like if they're portrayed as like the highest people paid in all of their fields, and it's like third party, like companies doing this.
Yeah.
It's not a government. So like they top people across the world. First colony is going to be in space. Touching
Dude.
space snakes.
Jesus Christ.
Who the fuck does that?
I'm gonna redo.
I don't touch real snakes.
I'm gonna redo Raiders or
Raiders?
The Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Woo.
and the beginning scene where he's in there with when the spears come out and he's just
Anthony Mulaney? No, Anthony.
His name is Molina. His last name is
Yeah.
Molina. Is the guy who gets speared through the head.
George
and goes,
Molina?
Alfred
Molina.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
We know our stuff.
Yes, indeed.
He was Doc Ock.
We dig deep. So instead of like just being all careful and being really knowledgeable, I'm just going to release like a bunch of preschoolers like into the
To set all
temple.
the traps.
Exactly.
Genius.
I'll just step over dead children, and then I'll get the statue and be like, well, the rock can't go down because of all the bodies that are piled up.
See,
there.
James Bond Jr. would never let you do that.
I'm just saying, like this is. I mean, like, look, there's a smart way to spend money, and there's a dumb way to spend money.
Also, like, Indiana Jones was already portrayed as stupid because obviously that bag did not weigh as much as that gold.
What are you talking about? Gold is not that heavy.
No, but he still got it wrong. Did I have a fever dream where the ball didn't chase him down?
It was hot. It was gold plated.
Like, I'm pretty sure that he set off that booby trap, which leads me to believe he doesn't understand weight ratios.
Mm-hmm.
A 5-ounce bird cannot carry a 1-pound coconut.
coconut.
That's another reason, like,
Where the fuck is that from?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh my
You've lost
God.
your nerd card. Get out of my house,
dude! I forgot. Oh my god.
We
that's
actually
so
we
good.
actually watched the majority of Monty Python before Jessica Jones yesterday. Yeah,
Nice. That's awesome.
because we were all snowed in, like we were trapped in the home. So it was like, what do you do when this happens? Watch Monty Python.
Oh, that's so good. Oh man.
So do you guys want to get some coffee?
Fuck yeah. That's
I'm
amazing.
dead.
Yeah. You look like you're ready to fall over.
I'm Philip Seymour Hoffman at the end of Twister. I don't know if you guys know. He doesn't survive in Twister.
Dusty.
No, Dusty lives. He lives.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Last episode.
Well done. Well done.
Wait, no, it's my.
Yeah.
The 4-second interval.
Like 2 strokes per minute. The slow jerk. Baller status. All right, we'll be back.
Later.
Our old computer wouldn't. Oh, God damn it. HDMI, DVI 1. Thank you, Internet. That was episode 12. We are at Cave Trolls Cast on Twitter and on Facebook. You can email us at cavetrollscast@gmail.com. And we are launching our YouTube channel with episode 13, so you can watch us over there if you prefer. We also have reviews, skits, sketches, reactions, let's plays, and whatever the hell else you put on YouTube. If you get us off iTunes, leave a review, subscribe, shoot us some feedback. We want to hear from you. You might not be listening, but we're going to keep on talking. Thank you.